Get down! Get down!
Shit.
And the remainder is
Talk to your children.
Israel belongs to the Almighty, not you lot.
Stupid. Don't talk about
Everything belongs to the Almighty. Even your body belongs to the Almighty. Because the Almighty
You see the outcome of religion. You see the outcome of
Very
religion.
nicely. The thing is, I don't know what she's talking
You talk about diversity.
There's nothing wrong with Islam. There's nothing wrong with Islam, but everything wrong with this kind of Muslims.
Well, there's nothing wrong with them.
Are you shut
How
up?
can you judge them?
Who are you?
Judge someone. You're not supposed to judge anyone.
Yeah.
Judge your own self.
For all I know, you're some next fraud who bomb licks, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes!
Shut their ass, you dumb fuck.
Like girls.
They're like a girl like you.
Put your heads back.
You're nice. I don't know,
Even the dog goes.
The trouble with too many of you think if you come and live in a free country, it makes you free. It's free.
They can't do the same in their own country.
Shut up!
You're a foreigner as well.
And that freedom shows how uncivilized you still are despite living in a free country. Because freedom does not
Free country. The Metropolitan Police will tell you to shut up. That's what the Metropolitan Police do. There's obscene corruption.
You're
not allowed to. There is obscene corruption in the UK police service, I'm telling you. It is estimated there are 140,000 corrupt operatives in the UK police service. In England and Wales. We want less religiosity. We want less religiosity.
Stand there.
And let those people who want religious, wherever they have religious interests, let them get on with it.
No,
you can't. You're not allowed to.
What do you pay for Wikipedia?
You've got it yourself. I'm not abusing them. But she can't tell people to shut up.
She did not go to them.
You can't really come here and take over. You tell them to shut up. Why should they shut up? She's spouting her mouth off. Let me tell you. Go to your place.
You are taking over her place. Yeah.
This is a free country.
Start that fight!
Get on your steps.
I know you give the clap to that anybody.
Why is she talking about religious or religion?
You want to crowd to listen to you. Make it a point of religion. No, it's not. No, it's not.
Of course it's a free space. You just told us it's a free country.
If your speech is very attractive,
It's a free country, but you're... Hold on.
Hey.
You're breaking regulation, you've got to keep a waist set amount of foot, you know?
yes. Yes. These are the regulations.
It's a high regulation.
Yeah. Otherwise, police will come and arrest you.
Now, this religiosity.
Just keep breaking the regulations.
Let me just remind you what Arthur Conan Doyle said about
Excuse me, we're
religiosity.
listening to this lady here.
Let's listen. Carry on.
You want to speak to this lady?
Yes.
Well, listen and speak.
Yes. Yeah. We are not with you at all.
Yeah!
You're all interrupting me all the time.
Back to Google.
Go back to No more interruptions. Let this lady speak. No more interruptions. Let this lady speak.
You're a good
Convict. Is a convict. Australian.
You got the message now.
And you made him come
Yeah,
back.
but
Well done, boys. Well done.
Yes! When your side man! You are
I don't.
Back to topic.
Back to your kangaroo.
A greatest show of London Speakers Corner free of cost.
Speak English.
I warn you, nothing is free. It costs to stand here.
Oh, yes, it does cost.
Because standing here,
You just
listening, gives you responsibility.
You just proved the point.
Yes.
And the truth of the matter is, whenever you're talking to anybody, you should be conveying a sense of responsibility to them and not making them feel good about being victims and being helpless because you've got sympathy for them. Sympathy does not pay the bills. Sympathy does not make you strong in a world of predators. The challenge of a good pep talk and an encouragement to be stronger than what you are is what everybody needs. And that's where those close to you can show their most value. Not trying to cuss at you, but preparing you for a world that at this point of history is far from what it should be. However, there's nowhere to run.
So are you against your ancestry then?
I don't have to get into ancestry. We're all standing here as a result of it. If you choose to withdraw,
Don't get me involved.
Oh, I joined these kids.
Yeah, come on. Yay! Love you.
Now you found out today.
I have changed my party. I have changed my party. I'm a Polynesian.
whether you like it or not, you are here because of those who've gone before, not the people around about you. And you can never sever yourself from them, no matter which country you live in. Every time you look in the mirror, you're faced with your racial background.
What?
And in this
Racial
day and
background?
age,
What do you mean
many
racial
are
background?
playing
Come here, no, come here.
Many are playing
Look at the mirror. Let me go. Let me go. Let me go. Let me go. Look in the mirror.
Race exists. We all know it. It may swing backwards and forwards to one race to another race, but the whole thing is, it is dealing with something that can in no way disappear. And the idea that you can push it under the mat because you don't want to offend anybody is an absolute abdication of any common sense. We are meant to have the dignity of living who we
You
are.
can't sweep it under the carpet. So please stop. No! They swept him under the carpet like this.
This is a lefty anarchist whose motive is to wipe out the races, and that's why they're so strong in racism. Not because they love the races, because the racial loyalty gets in the way of their world
I'm
agenda.
sure you got more money in your pocket than I have.
Because the naive thing is that people think that everything's on their level. There is an agenda.
Yes.
An agenda to control. Many nations already know it. In this country already, the very fact of daring to speak out because you are concerned about the immigration system is deemed as something that has to be suppressed. That is tyranny.
What do you mean by immigration system?
I'm too bored, man. I'm boring.
You mean the immigration
Every
system?
place,
The immigration system allowed us to flood Australia and
on
yes.
displaced the
every
Aboriginals.
Yeah, that's right.
Have you been
Not
displaced
just
then?
that.
Are you Australian?
No,
What's that got to do with it?
but that man got point.
We shipped hordes and hordes of people over to Australia.
Oh, yes.
They're mostly convicts. And
I
they
wonder why we
displaced the
shipped them out.
Aboriginals.
Absolutely
And they did it in New Zealand. They replaced the
he's
Maoris.
Australian, yeah, he's not-
Captain Cook, James
No,
Cook.
he's not Australian.
we have here is
Go and have a look at this. And they've all
Shall I
got their
tell you
statues.
something? In England alone, after centuries of so-called unfairness, the hordes have gathered in this land in order to bring down what they perceive as their enemies. And what they're really doing is demonstrating the chip on their own shoulder
I've got
that
no
brought
chips
them
on
to
my
that in the
shoulder.
first place.
I got no chip either.
It's very simple. Anybody who has a chip in their shoulder because we did to their country, don't tell me you don't have one, because if you cared about your country, you'd be in your
Oh,
country.
have you got any country?
I am in my country.
No, you're not.
Oh,
I see. You're part of this government that ship people out because they're not in their own country.
No, I
are
dare
you?
to, I dare to be an
How many
individual.
How many were Victoria?
I dare to be
How
an
many are
individual with a
Victoria?
mind of my own.
How many are Queen
I'm
Victoria's?
an individual who
the man got point. The man got point. Carry on.
I believe in the death penalty. Because that's what justice is. You sort out the evil. And if it meant shipping you up to Australia and New Zealand, well, that was a good idea as well.
Was it?
The problem is you keep coming back.
Yeah. You're another Judge Jeffries, are you? You go around hanging people.
No,
Hello.
and me. Have you ever heard of individuality?
That's for you.
Because it's funny, people like you always talk the same claptrap. Look at it all written down. Who wrote that for you? Which book did you get that out of? Have you heard about living? It's about doing something now, not tied to the past.
The past, it creates the future.
No,
And
the past.
If we got a police force that are obscenely
Change
corrupt,
those records.
No, but that man got point. Don't
No,
say that.
the
Of course
point
he
in
got
this is
point.
all together is the English who belong in this country have a great respect for law and order.
well, what are they doing in Australia, sending all the
No,
convicts
but
out
they
there?
were English
That
once upon
was
a time,
dealing
weren't
with
you?
the
You
law.
were English, weren't you? You were English.
No,
once upon a
most
time.
of them were Celts.
Anglo-Saxon.
Most of them
Oh,
were Celts.
right, yeah, Celts.
When it comes to Australia, there's not many English there. The English tended to go to New Zealand. Because the English and the Celts are two very different
Furthermore,
people.
English never
Very
existed
different
on this planet. Never.
Absolutely. It's a big melting pot. I
Exactly.
Have you any
told
idea what a fascinating
We're all
subject race
individuals.
is?
We've all got our own
Yes.
To look at
We've all
some
got our own
collective
idiosyncrasies.
identity of people right throughout history, and the whys and the wherefores of why they behave as they do. Just the same as we as individuals. Many people go for counselling. Why? To find out what happened to them in the past that influences in the present. Because as human beings, we first of all have a collective identity, which is our racial identity.
Oh, here we go.
Oh,
Here we
agree
go.
with us.
Here we
Have a
go.
collective identity.
What is he talking
We're all
about?
from the same melting pot.
Then why are you going on about the British? You
Uneducated.
argue yourself out of an argument. If there's no such thing as division, why are you talking about the British as if they're a separate entity?
Dana, there is
You're all the
something
same.
wrong with your speech.
No, I
What
don't
we
want to
need
hear
to, what we
you say.
need to concentrate on is doing good, not God.
Listen to it, we. That's the collective identity.
Victoria used
that's
it.
not an individual standing there. That's a man who's
Victoria was always
imbibed
spouting
ideas
we.
from someone else. He
Victoria
doesn't
was
look at the
always
world.
spouting
He doesn't
we.
engage it.
Yes,
He doesn't
yes.
constantly use his mind and compare because he's all written down for him.
Well, that's all the